made loneliness in an issue that has to be addressed. If you ask a young guy who's on self-improvement, trying to get better, working out, eating clean, all of this stuff, what is one of his main problems? Many guys actually say that they lack human-to-human connection, that they lack friendships, that they lack people in their lives, that they lack common fellow soul to talk to, and are pretty lonely. While the solution is so simple that one part of me thinks that I shouldn't even be recording this video. But yet, the other part of me knows that me doing that made me a better person, made me feel better, even though the advice is so simple that it shouldn't be a separate video. Just talk to people. I know how stupidly common it sounds. Yes, talk to people. I talk to people every day. But do you actually try and talk as much as you can? Because, of course, some interactions have to happen. If you're not a couch potato who is sitting in front of his TV or computer screen, fapping all the day playing video games, if you go out, if you go to the gym, if you study or work, you have to have some conversations, you have to have some common human-to-human interactions. But yet, the way to actually make yourself get out of this loneliness is to make friendship, of course. Is to find people you want to spend time with. Whether or not it will be creating a friendship or a relationship, in this matter is pretty similar. You have to meet the people that are right to you, right for you, for this matter. And what do you even do? You just talk to people. Like, not to drift away from the topic, I'll give you an example of my happening from today, where I was at the train station and in front of me I've seen a girl with a suitcase on the wheels. But the thing is that the train station in the city I study is renovated, and not even the stairs, but there are also moments where some random bricks or stones or something like that will appear on your pathway. So even if your suitcase has wheels, you have to carry it over. So I just got up to her and asked, "Hey, do you want me to help you?" And she was like, yeah, could you? Because it's kind of heavy. And basically, I just had a basic conversation asking what is her feeling of the city. Some small talk. I don't want to shout the example one-to-one because it's not relative in this moment, but having a small talk with a stranger. She was a stranger to me before, and I don't even know her name by now. The thing is that I overcalculated her age looking at her from the first glance. She was actually older than I thought, so I didn't pay any effort to make it a stronger relationship because I didn't see the purpose. But still, it was a very pleasurable experience to have a small talk with a person who actually was and is from a city that is a couple hours of train driveway from my current location. And it was nice to help a person. That is also some part of it. That even though you might not sometimes think about it, sometimes you may, interacting with random people may help them. And if you help someone, you feel better by yourself. Like, even some small common interactions can make the day of the other person better. And if you realize that this person has got a better time because of you, subconsciously you will feel better. Maybe it won't strike to the consciousness problem. Consciousness? Loneliness problem inside of you, like directly. But it will help you feel better in the matter of not the general way to feel better, but a really honest human interaction. So back on holidays, I was in Spain with my parents, and in a hotel we had a canteen, and I basically went, grabbed the food, and was coming back to my table, when in front of me there was also a woman, like 40s, 50s, something like that. Spanish girl, Spanish woman, who was also going to her table. And I wasn't paying that much attention. She wasn't paying that much attention. We would, if we weren't, if we wouldn't notice ourselves, we would strike and drop the food. But we noticed ourselves in the same moment, like a meter away from ourselves, and got made an eye contact. I've seen in her eyes that something's not in the best condition. I don't want to get in depth because I don't know. I didn't ask, of course. But I've seen that her mind was somewhere else. Maybe something happened, maybe just a worse day. But I've seen that she was kind of panicked that she almost got into me in a matter of, making a mess. She was a little bit stressed, and I naturally smiled at her. I can't even describe to you what happened to her. She also smiled, but not only like her lips went, but I've seen the entire face of her light up, like this stress of almost bumping into me. And those things that were probably in her head, at least for a short while, disappeared. And I've seen that as she was walking to her table, she was smiling. And before she wasn't. Like, it's not exactly directly hitting your loneliness problem, but trust me when I say that it works great on your soul to make someone's day better. And if you talk to people, it will happen. But also for the loneliness problem. Of course, when you talk to more people, finally you will find a person who's compatible with you. And I'm not only talking about finding a girlfriend. Maybe it will be a friend. Maybe it will happen in a train. Maybe it will happen at the gym. Maybe in a store queue. Anywhere you can find people you can talk to. And those will be the people who are minding their business at the moment and won't be responsive at the very first glance. Like I've had the talk in the train like a week ago with a girl. I sat next to her going to the university, and I've noticed that she didn't smile throughout the whole 15 minutes of me driving with her in this train. So as we were to get out of the train, I just asked, "Hey, why didn't you smile the entire ride?" Trust me, like the situation is built that if you go to any university in this town, in this city, at least to a certain moment you go the same pathway. So we shared this pathway, even though she was from a different university, and talked for like 5 minutes, getting to know each other a little bit. She smiled throughout the entire time since me asking this question. And in this moment, you could say that, yeah, this is the moment where you found someone connecting with you. Well, not really. She wasn't very responsive to me. I just basically felt that, yeah, she's nice, but she doesn't want to progress in any way, not even a small friendship. And there's nothing wrong with that. You will, of course, meet people who will keep minding their own business, will restrain from talking to strangers, will just stay in their zone, focus on themselves, focus on their problems, something. I don't want to bump you with hundreds of examples here because it's not the topic. And it will happen. But even though that girl didn't really want to talk with me with some more interest rather than common small talk, common human to human interaction, I've seen that she also lighted up. And I lighted up this day because I just had a pleasurable conversation throughout throughout the part of my commute to the university. So the more you talk to people, first, the more you can basically make your life better by making some other people's lives better. And I'm talking about making their lives better in the smallest bits possible. I don't want you to give them money to pay their rent, they're due with for the last 3 weeks. I don't want you to solve the world hunger. I just want you to do those small human interactions that you probably know you can do. What it takes? It takes to strike the fear inside of you coming from talking to people in those random situations. Because trust me, I've been talking about examples from my life. Trust me when I say that I also didn't feel very comfortable striking the conversation, being the starter, being the one who talks, like not knowing the person and still talking to her, trying to start a conversation, asking this question, hey, why didn't you smile? It's not that you're pleasurable with it at the very first moment, but you know how delayed gratification works. You do something hard, something challenging, something that's not pleasurable at the very first moment, but in return, you receive the pleasure. The pleasure that's actually valuable, the happiness of your life. And the one of the ways to help achieve this pleasure is to basically be a social person in the matter of being able to talk to people. So if you are lonely, if you don't have friends, you don't have gym bros, or you have them but you find them degenerate and you want to have a person who's actually compatible with the you version who's trying to get better, you won't find those people if you restrain from meeting new people, talking to new people, having basic conversations and basic interactions with people that don't end up on buying something in the grocery store. So now go and make your life better. Go and make your way to a better future.